Yeah, like some things are getting introduced to kids, earlier than what they used to be introduced to kids, because of the internet. It used to be, to for a kid to really be able to see a stripper in action, or, see a male or female, either one, doing any like adult type of activity. They had to catch it on TV, and it most likely would be at a certain time, or they'd have to go find a certain tape that somebody had, or DVD. They have to go find that, and then they'd be able to see a certain type of scene or certain type of activity that they weren't supposed to see. But it's like now, if a child has access to a laptop, a tablet, a cell phone, uh, just anything electronic, if they have access to it, now they can just, it's easy to access. Whether on accident or on purpose, it's easy to access. Because even like on specific apps, it's become a trend to where, you know, more people are doing adult type of activity on these social apps, whether it's taking off more clothes, whether it's profanity, whether it's drinking, smoking, showing artillery, guns, weapons in a wild and irresponsible way, just all kind of, or bad pranks, stupid child trends, all the stupid trends that happen that some people get hurt doing. It's just easier for like a child to access those things now because of the internet. It's easier for a child to access and take part in those things, and for those things to affect them and help groom them, and you know to the point where they might start to think certain things are normal that we didn't used to think were normal, and they might start to adopt these things and copy and imitate these things that they shouldn't, things that aren't healthy. And it becomes a problem because there's no cutoff. Like, okay, there were cartoons during the day, and then at night there was Adult Swim, so there was a cutoff. There was a cutoff when, certain things during the day, certain things would happen, and at night it'd be a different type of channel, to where you knew, okay, it's time for kids to go to bed. And kids can't really access this. They can't really access that after a certain time. And it seemed like there were just, more, there was more, what's the word I'm looking for? And it becomes a problem because there's no cutoff. Like, okay, there were cartoons during the day, and then at night there was Adult Swim, so there was a cutoff. There was a cutoff when, certain things during the day, certain things would happen, and at night it'd be a different type of channel, to where you knew, okay, it's time for kids to go to bed. It was just a thing to where there was a cutoff, to where the most explicit adult things were less likely to be shown to children. It was harder to obtain them, even if they attained a certain DVD or tape, or got to see a certain TV program. That's all they had to see was that DVD, that tape, that program. With the internet, it's non-stop. There's no cutoffs. Everything, every website is up 24 hours. So at any time, if a child can get a hold of any, device that can surf the internet, there's it's unlimited ability for them to watch and go into whatever, especially if there's no parental settings on that device, it's unlimited. They can search and watch and look at whatever, and it's gonna, you know, a certain amount of children is going to affect. That's just the difference. Another difference is some of the time on some of these social apps, the similarity is like it's a common place where both kids and adults are both going. So they're both going to the same certain sites. They're both going to the same sites. And on one end, it's adults, you know, just expressing themselves, whether it's through their dress or through their music or whatever, or through any type of video they want to post. They're expressing themselves, but they're being an adult while expressing themselves. You know, so if they're being an adult while expressing themselves, it could be an explicit video, it could be an adult, super adult video, it could be any type of video they want. And really not much censoring it. You can't be extreme, but they can pretty much do what they want to do in the video. And so if kids and adults alike are congregating to this social site, of course kids are going to come upon it. They're going to be, you know, influenced by it. And so that's a difference, because it's like you can't really make the adults not be adults and do what they want on their page. It's their page. And at the same time, unless they create like a guideline, you can't make it so kids can't see what they're doing. So they're both congregating on the same site. A 25-year-old person, a 30-year-old person, a 40-year-old person, and a 15-year-old person, and a 12-year-old person, and a 10-year-old person, and somebody 8, you know, whatever age, congregating to the same websites, but they're all getting to see all this unfiltered content. You know, people on there selling themselves, selling their adult content site. You know, not knowing how old the other person on the other end is going in to purchase that. And it's hard to combat that.